Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing great. So in today's video, I'm going to address one very important question that one of the subscriber asked me, and the question has like actually two part of it. The first part is it really worth to learn IBM B2B Sterling Integrator at this point of the time? And then the second question was, what is the future of EDI mapping, right? And uh, are there any careers, right? If I am willing to invest time and effort, right, in learning this mapping, right, or business process development and things like that. So let me answer the first one. Is it worthy to learn IBM B2B Sterling Integrator? It definitely is, right? We do see there are a lot of like push towards newer applications, right? SaaS based applications that are coming up, like for example, there are a lot of managed file transfer, very lightweight, right? Not like a robust engine like Sterling Integrator, where you need to have an entire infrastructure around it to be able to support the application itself. Like, the challenges of installing and managing a Sterling B2B integrator engine, right? Because it's a monolithic architecture, right, based on which it is built. But if you see, like, I'm not sure how many of you follow the IBM Sterling Integrator blog. I have given the link earlier, but if you have followed that, you must have seen that there is a shift in respect to re-architecting the product itself, right? Like, currently, what I'm seeing within Sterling Integrator is they're actually breaking that monolithic architecture of the Sterling Integrator code base, and then they are writing, like, they're actually putting different functionality of Sterling Integrator into a small microservice based, right? Like, they are making it more of like microservice oriented architecture, so that in future, I'm assuming the future would be that I don't need the entire Sterling integrator. I don't need to pay for the license, which is pretty costly, right? If you want to purchase a Sterling integrator license, and the thing is that you have so many functionalities that you can use within Sterling integrator. But let's say there is a small and medium business customer, right? Not an enterprise customer, or maybe a startup customer, and they don't need a full-fledged Sterling B2B integrator engine that does all the things, right? When it comes to EDI or B2B, but they need a small piece of it. Like, okay, I just need to send and receive files. I don't want a mapping part of it, right? Is that simple as that, right? Or maybe I need another specific functionality of Sterling integrator, okay, and not the entire engine. So why should I pay for the entire product, okay, whereas I'm only using like maybe 10, 20, or 30% of it? And that's where there's re-architecting to a more of a microservice-based, Dockerized, container-based like approach that IBM is working through. Okay, is going to definitely play a big role, right? And I see the future in that, right? Once that product is re-architected, and we have, like, we can just pick and choose. Okay, then I just want this functionality. I'm gonna pay for this part of it, right? If I need additional features, okay, I'm gonna maybe pay a little extra, right? So that way they don't have to like invest a lot of money upfront, the capex, and they can just like pay as you go model kind of stuff, right? Now, the other area that I wanted to highlight is, if you look into, there's cloud native solutions, right? Like, for example, in Azure, right, you have B2B service, right? I'm not sure if you've heard about though that on the AWS side, we do have AWS Transfer Family, right? That does a managed file transfer kind of offering. But though these new cloud native services are being built, right, for the smaller customers, but when it comes to EDI, I have seen the trend that there are two types of players, right, in the market when it comes to EDI. One is the EDI leaders, right? Like, for example, big retail companies like Walmart, Kruger, or maybe big healthcare companies, right? Because EDI is here for almost like last 40 years. So there are big healthcare, fintech, as well as retail companies and also logistics companies that predominantly use EDI as a standard. And to do business with them, right? If you're a small and medium business and you want to like transact and like sell some stuff on Walmart and you want to do EDI, you need to adhere to their standards. So you need to be able to support like EDI transactions, right? So let the leaders determine, okay, the followers what they have to adhere to. It's not like the followers is going to determine, okay, the no, I am nimble, okay, I am using API based integrations, right? REST API, JSON, and all that, okay, and Walmart has to adhere to that. It's not how it works at this point, right? So to do business with those kind of big players in the industry, okay, you need to be able to support EDI. So there is definitely a potential of additional growth in the EDI industry. Like I will share a link to a post, okay, where it talks about that. Even if we keep hearing this EDI is going to be obsolete, it's not going to. Rather, like it's going to grow to almost like 4.5 trillion dollar market in couple of years with a significant growth on the EDI as well, right? Considering the fact why EDI is going to still grow is there's one side of it. One is like they have already a proper workflow, right, to be able to support the EDI transaction, and they don't want to change that. It's a lot of money investment and all that, and a lot of moving pieces, right? So the leaders want to still keep following that same thing. The other thing is, uh, even if we keep hearing that API based integration is going to replace EDI, consider the fact that for a small and medium business or a startup company, you may be receiving maybe 10, 20 in a day files or sending files, right? Maybe 50, maybe 100, right? So the volume of file transfers is pretty significantly less, considering the fact of like if you compare with like bigger players in the market like Walmart and Kruger, or maybe Aetna, right? Those kind of industry, okay, they are transacting maybe millions of documents per day. So now, if you want to move to API-based integration, use some of the third-party services which provides that API-based integration, you have to pay per message, right? So the cost is going to like pretty soon, okay, grow at a compound rate, right? To be able to support that per message transaction versus if let's say I bring all that EDI transaction in house versus like API based integration, and I have this entire workflow within my ecosystem, right? My on premise or my cloud infrastructure. I don't have to pay an external third-party provider for doing the API-based integration, right? And the cost to manage that, right? The overall operational cost that they are going to incur is pretty less than having an external like API integration and then paying per message, right? So I don't see a challenge over there. So definitely. There is a significant potential of this EDI transaction still continuing in near future, right? So there's definitely potential of having a good number of jobs in the market. The other thing is there are a couple of more things I wanted to highlight. That the first question that was like, is it worthy to learn IBM B2B integrator? It is, but I would say just don't restrict yourself to learning one particular application or one particular product, right? Expand your knowledge, right, beyond IBM Sterling Integrator. Maybe look into Axway, maybe look into Clio, maybe look into cloud native B2B solutions or managed file transfer solution, as I mentioned as an example, like AWS Transfer Family, for example, right? So expand your knowledge, right? Learn additional products, right, with different feature set, right? That will help you to get more like relevant jobs in the market. You'll still be relevant in the job market, right? So don't restrict yourself. The other thing that I want to highlight is that as I mentioned, that EDA is going to stay, IBM Sterling Integrator is going to stay, right? So, but in that respect, okay, even if there is a huge potential of growth, when it comes to the availability of good resources in the market, there's really very less people, okay, who really know in and out of EDI or any kind of integration per se, right? Like, so when it comes to jobs, right, if you are pretty good, right, in learning all those tools and the concept, right, and be able to implement those within the product that you work on, right, and then the number of resources are less because not everyone is aware of EDI and like have worked on EDI, right? So there's very less good resources out there. So definitely there's a high demand, right? Like if it's all about supply and demand. So if the supply is less and the demand is more, okay, definitely you're going to shine in your career, right? So that's that. I hope that I was able to address that. Okay, feel free to like comment, right, if you have any follow-up questions to what I just mentioned in respect to the overall future of EDI and Sterling integrator, and happy to address them in my next sessions, right? So with that, I'm going to end this stream today. Wish you all a very happy weekend and talk to you next week.